1. Introduction to International Finance. International finance is the study of monetary interactions that occur between two or more countries. It examines how capital flows across borders, how exchange rates are determined, and how governments, corporations, and investors manage financial risk in a global context. In today's interconnected economy, understanding these mechanisms is essential for policymakers, multinational businesses, and even individual investors who participate in global markets. Two. Historical perspective. The roots of international finance trace back centuries, from the establishment of trade routes like the Silk Road to the creation of the gold standard in the 19th century. The post-World War II Bretton Woods Agreement marked a turning point by setting fixed exchange rates tied to the U.S. dollar and establishing the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and the World Bank. Over time, the collapse of the gold standard and the shift to floating exchange rates reshaped global financial architecture, influencing how nations manage their currencies today. Three. Core objectives. The primary objective of international finance is to facilitate smooth transactions of goods, services, and capital between countries. It seeks to ensure stable exchange rates, promote balanced trade, and maintain sustainable capital flows. This field also focuses on minimizing currency volatility, fostering global investment opportunities, and supporting economic growth through cooperation among nations and financial institutions. Four. Foreign exchange markets. At the heart of international finance is the foreign exchange Forex market, where currencies are bought and sold. This decentralized, over-the-counter marketplace operates 24 hours a day, with daily turnover exceeding trillions of dollars. Forex markets not only enable trade and investment but also reflect geopolitical developments, interest rate changes, and investor sentiment, making them a vital indicator of global economic health. Exchange rate systems. Countries adopt different exchange rate regimes to manage their currencies. Some maintain fixed or pegged systems, linking their currency value to another major currency like the U.S. dollar, while others allow floating rates determined by market forces. Managed floats, where central banks occasionally intervene, represent a middle ground. The choice of system influences a nation's trade competitiveness, inflation, and monetary policy flexibility. Six. Balance of payments. The balance of payments (BOP) is a comprehensive record of a country's economic transactions with the rest of the world. It comprises the current account covership trade in goods and services and the capital and financial accounts, which record investments and loans. Persistent deficits or surpluses in the BOP can signal economic vulnerabilities or strengths, prompting policy adjustments to restore equilibrium. Seven. Role of international institutions. Several global institutions play a crucial role in maintaining stability. The International Monetary Fund provides financial assistance and policy advice to countries facing balance of payments crises. The World Bank supports development projects aimed at poverty reduction and infrastructure growth. Regional entities such as the European Central Bank or the Asian Development Bank also contribute to regional economic resilience and integration. International monetary policy coordination. Because national economies are interdependent, monetary policy decisions in one country can ripple across borders. Central banks in major economies as the U.S. Federal Reserve or the European Central Bank often influence global liquidity and capital flows. Periodic coordination, such as during the 2008 financial crisis, helps mitigate systemic risks and stabilize markets when shocks threaten global economic stability. Nine. Global capital markets. International finance relies heavily on global capital markets, where investors seek diversification and corporations raise funds beyond domestic borders. These markets include international bond issues, syndicated loans, and cross-listings of equities. Innovations such as Eurobonds and global depository receipts have made it easier for companies to tap investors worldwide, while also exposing them to regulatory complexities and currency risk. N. Foreign direct investment. FDI involves long-term investments by companies in foreign enterprises, such as building factories or acquiring businesses abroad. FDI brings capital, technology transfer, and managerial expertise to host countries, fostering economic growth. However, it also raises concerns about domestic control of key industries and the potential for sudden reversals of capital during economic downturns. (11) Currency risk and hedging. Fluctuations in exchange rates pose significant risks for businesses and investors. Companies engaged in international trade often hedge currency exposure using financial instruments such as forwards, futures, options, and swaps. Effective risk management protects profits, stabilizes cash flows, and allows firms to focus on strategic expansion rather than worrying about currency volatility. Impact of globalization. Globalization has accelerated the integration of financial markets, allowing capital to move almost instantaneously. While this facilitates investment and economic growth, it can also amplify the spread of financial crises, as seen during the Asian financial crisis of 1997 and the global financial crisis of 2008. Policymakers continue to debate how to balance the benefits of open markets with the need for prudent regulation. Emerging market dynamics. Emerging economies have become vital players in international finance. Countries such as China, India, and Brazil attract massive foreign investment and increasingly influence global monetary policy. Their rapid growth offers opportunities for investors but also introduces volatility, as weaker institutional frameworks and political uncertainties can heighten risk. Contemporary challenges. Today's international financial system faces several pressing challenges: rising protectionism, geopolitical tensions, climate-related economic shocks, and the advent of digital currencies and decentralized finance. Central banks and regulators are grappling with how to integrate innovations like central bank digital currencies (BDC) while safeguarding financial stability and consumer protection. 15. Conclusion and future outlook. International finance will continue to evolve as technology advances and global interdependence deepens. The future will likely bring stronger regional alliances, more sophisticated risk management tools, and greater emphasis on sustainability in investment decisions. For governments, businesses, and individuals alike, a sound understanding of international finance is no longer optional. It is essential for navigating the complexities of an increasingly interconnected world. (16) Technological transformation and fintech. The rise of financial technology has revolutionized cross-border transactions. Fintech companies use blockchain, artificial intelligence, and real-time payment systems to reduce settlement times from days to seconds. International remittances, once costly and slow, now move almost instantly via digital wallets and decentralized networks. While this enhances efficiency, it also challenges traditional banking regulation and requires coordinated global oversight to prevent fraud, cybercrime, and systemic risks. (17) Sovereign debt and credit ratings. Sovereign debt bonds issued by national governments is a core component of global finance. Countries borrow to fund infrastructure, stabilize budgets, or respond to crises. Credit rating agencies such as Moody's and Standard & Poor's assess a nation's creditworthiness, influencing borrowing costs and investor confidence. Episodes like the European debt crisis demonstrated how quickly perceptions can shift, triggering capital flight and raising questions about the transparency and influence of rating methodologies. 18. International taxation and regulatory arbitrage. Multinational corporations often face a complex patchwork of tax regimes. Differences in corporate tax rates can encourage regulatory arbitrage, where firms shift profits to low-tax jurisdictions. Initiatives like the OECD's Base Erosion and Profit Shifting (BEPS) framework and the push for a global minimum tax aim to close loopholes and create fairer standards. These efforts illustrate the delicate balance between national sovereignty and the need for a coherent international tax system. (19) Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) finance. Sustainable finance is reshaping investment decisions worldwide. Investors increasingly demand that corporations disclose their environmental, social, and governance practices, integrating climate risk into portfolio management. Green bonds, carbon credit markets, and climate-related stress tests are becoming mainstream tools. For international finance, ESG considerations mean not only measuring financial returns but also accounting for the long-term health of ecosystems and communities. 20. The human capital dimension. Behind every policy, transaction, and algorithm are people whose skills and decisions drive outcomes. International finance depends on a global workforce of economists, analysts, legal experts, and technologists who can navigate complex cross-border environments. Education, cultural fluency, and ethical standards are therefore critical. As automation handles routine tasks, the ability to interpret nuanced data, negotiate across cultures, and design resilient financial systems will define the next generation of global finance leaders.